hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Ryan Saplan here, fat loss strength coach. Going to be doing a training session here with beautiful, none other, better half, Naomi. And we're going to be working on some deadlifts, specifically the hybrid sumo. And in case you're wondering why the hybrid sumo, well, one of the things why I want to work with hybrid sumo, not just for myself, but with her, is to kind of work on not yanking the bar and losing core positioning. Because a lot of the times when we reach for the bar, one of the problems that we run into is losing slack somewhere in the body, in the system. So we want to eliminate slack, which essentially makes the lift a lot harder. So you can't use your lower back as much. The only problem we're going to run into is Naomi's knee sometimes bothers her when we do sumo. So what we have to focus on to make sure you don't get hurt or you don't feel irritation in your knee is, just to be clear with what hybrid sumo is, or sort of like what I mean by hybrid sumo anyway, is I want to position yourself so that you are, like if this is conventional for you right here, you're just going to be barely outside the hands, okay? That's all we're going to do. And then after that, you're going to get the bar, basically squat, like basically you're almost half squatting it up. It's no different. The only thing is that, and the thing is going to have you, the thing that you may run into problems is being able to get this big toe on the ground very firmly. So that way when you are getting ready to like dig through the ground, you're not doing this, okay? So look at my knees. We don't want initiation from the lift. We don't want this to happen. We want this to happen, okay? So I know it's kind of hard to see. Hopefully we can get that feeling. Pause from the ground each time. Let's just start with 5. I'll check your technique and form, and then we'll kind of go from there. Pretty good. Good. Okay, 2 more. Okay, let's get one more. All right, good job. So how'd that feel? Good. Your knee okay?
Yeah.
All right, no, the weight's not heavy enough, so I gotta put more weight on. That's basically what the deal is. The one thing that Naomi was doing that you can't quite see in the camera is that when the bar breaks the ground, her knees are still too far forward. One of the things that I sometimes will do is get her technique down first, but she's good enough right now. We'll see if the weight will correct her. Because what happens is when you're deadlifting and you're any deadlift, sumo, conventional or hybrid, whatever, you're deadlifting from here and then you push your hips back and then you come off the ground. A lot of the time when the weight's very light, you can come off the ground like this with your knees still forward. And what we really want is we don't want the knees to be forward. We want them to be vertical or just barely vertical, if not fully vertical. So let's go ahead. Or perpendicular to the ground. All right, good. I think we'll stay at the weight for right now until we can kind of get our technique. So now her shin is becoming vertical when she comes off the ground, and she's in a fairly good pull position from initiation from the start. The problem that we're running into now is you're not staying tight with your back. So what happens is you start off with shin contact, you come off the ground, you look fairly good after about the first 3 or 4 inches, and then you lose connection, and you move away from the bar, and then you have this sort of pattern where the bar comes up, or the bar comes up off the ground, and then basically goes around your body. I just use a PVC pipe because it's always good for a visual. It's basically from this side here, you got the right here. You come off the ground fairly good, and then you do this like that. So you basically have this pattern. Sort of. It looks like that. So let's go see if we can work on that. Let's get 5 again. But this time, I want you to think about like squeezing your arms into your side, so that way when you're doing it, you're trying to keep it closer to your body. See if we can do that. Okay, so going over what you did. So which way do you? Are you doing this way or this way? So the left hand is under? Yeah. Okay, so this is not tight into your body hard enough. So you really have to like crank in harder. I don't know if you ever see people when I can't do it left to right, but what they basically do is they sort of do this, and then they crank. I don't necessarily have to, I don't want you to do that, but I'm just trying to get you in the handle of basically being able to wind up. I don't know if you can even do that, but because it's a new pattern. But just try your best to focus on digging your shoulder blades down and back like this. So let's use this PVC pipe as a teaching tool. So you're going to get this, and you're going to push it against your body, okay? Flexing your lats. So stand right here. Tight. So push it against your body. Okay, relax. Flex against your body. So I want you to think about pushing your shoulder blades down and forward. So I kind of want you to do this. Flex your lats. Do you know how to flex your lats? Like right here. Okay, so. And 5. Okay. How's your knee? Nothing? Nothing?
A little bit.
Where? Okay, it's fine. All right, so for the most part, there's a lot to manage, right? She's got to get, your feet have to be in the right position. If you have a pre-existing problem, you got to manage that. You also, I mean, I'm telling her to use a new cue for her back muscles to stay activated. One of the biggest mistakes I used to make was squeezing my shoulder blades tight, really tight back here. And you don't really want, I mean, you can try to aim for that, but really what you want is you want to be able to flex your lat. Like, you know, if you like do like a cable chest fly, when you're standing upright, you're basically trying to squeeze here, but you're essentially having the bar to press against in a way. In a way, it's a cue. It's not necessarily the exact way you would do it, but you did good. So let's do it again. You ready? Okay, let's do another 5. I'll take a look at your right knee and see what's going on, see if we can kind of improve it. Good. All right, so for the most part, Naomi's doing really good. Her form and technique are really good. Does your knee feel the same, or how does it feel? Still a little bit? A little bit. Okay, so we don't want to progress the weight too much. So right now she's starting to, I mean, it's like our third or fourth set with this weight, I think, and she's building the kind of the technique down. This is kind of why I like frequent deadlifting, because it allows for someone to build their technique faster. But of course, you can't deadlift that often because of time constraints typically, and also if you're training over 50 or over 60% of your 1 rep max all the time, is going to wear you out. But again, we're training with the purposes of technique, not necessarily like raw 1 rep max strength. Of course, there's going to be overlap and improvement. I think for the most part, the one thing that I was trying to initially work on was the bar not getting away from her body. And one of the things that she's doing much better. The bar is staying close to her body. The problem though, the problem with hybrid, which is what makes hybrid kind of hard, is that your legs are in the way of your arms, right? Like you're coming up, and then as you come up past your knees, you're touching your legs, or it's just annoying. So, you know, I mean, if you've ever done sumo before, you scrape your fingernails on the inside of your leg, it hurts. It's annoying. Did you do that or no? Okay, so I did that. It hurts like hell. It doesn't hurt like hell that much, but if you do like a lot of volume, it adds up. I don't know what to do about your knee. Where is it at?
Right here.
On the inside.
It's always the same thing.
So the one thing I think about with her is her right foot being flat and her ankle collapsing and then her knee coming in. Even though she's looking pretty good on the knee side, she's still getting collapsing, so not having a strong enough foot, you know. So I think that's the furthest you'd want to sumo. I think if you go any further, it'll give you problems. But we're working on hybrid anyway. Let's do 10 now. So how's your knee? Same? Feels the same, or is it getting worse?
Feels the same.
Okay, so I always ask that. You know, when someone has a pre-existing issue, I want to check the progression of it. You know, I don't know what they're feeling, and sometimes, you know, Naomi is the type of person that'll tough it out and make it worse or make it hurt worse, and I need to know. It's okay to push through some of it if you're training yourself, but you know, I'm a trainer, so I kind of want to make sure things don't progress. But going on to her technique, what was so great about it, this just goes to show why it's important you have to grind. When I say grind, that means two things. One, grinding through reps you can't do, but also training through imperfection. So even though you're not training perfectly and you're still trying to get used to the exercise, it's important that you train and get tired. Duh. The reason why is because as you get tired, you'll figure out how to lift the weight and you'll stop making bad technique. Basically, as you get tired, like right after she got to like 5 or 6, she stopped being able to get the bar to move away from her. So in order for her to make the weight, for her to complete her repetitions without getting too much on her lower back, she had to keep the bar close to her body. And you can see it from the side view, but what I saw from the side view, also on the 4th, the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th rep, I could see how the bar was moving more and more perfect because she was more focused on trying to make sure that she can lift the weight well. The tough part about sumo, as always, is always coming off the bar. I swear, it always feels like that first like 4 or 5 inches feel like a million years. Like, oh, this sucks. And then you go up. And you go back down and you repeat, oh. And that's what sucks about sumo, is being able to do that. I just think about Dan Green, you know, when Dan Green did that like 15-pound deadlift, you know, and you got to think, he goes all the way out to here, right? And then he's here, and he's right here, right? And then he literally, he gets it, he gets aggressive, and then there's that sticking point, and then finish, right? It's so cool, but it's just like, you know, that little bit there is like eternity. Like it moved like it's eternity, but you know, for us, it's just like, wow, it's amazing, whatever you did. You know, but then that just goes to show, it's like all your technique all in one lift, which is really fun. Are you ready for another 10? Last set? These 10 suck. 10 sucks. 2, last one. Awesome. Fantastic job. That was awesome. That was great. So, as you can tell, high reps suck. They're terrible, but they're really great for building technique, strength, overall strength. But anything else? I think for the most part, you did very good. This is a good training session as far as deadlifts, especially with the time we got to get ready for dinner. So, this is how it is. Anyways, click like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. If you got a question, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the next video. See you later.